Welcome back to Haulin Bass TV, y'all. As you guys already know, today is the June Lucky Tackle Box Tournament Series review. So, without further ado, let's make sure that we get into this box. It is hot out here today. It's raining outside actually, but it's hot here in the garage. And I want to get this thing done. So when we open it up, we get our magazine just like every month. This month's topic is top water. And you can go through and it'll teach you and give you tips on all of the ways to fish them, the different types of lures that'll be in here, and where to fish them, and everything. There's even a tip on what to follow up with if some fish misses your actual topwater lure. The next thing we got in here is the what's in the box card, and then on the back side it's the theme of the box, which is topwater, and they have a couple words about that on there. Now let's get into the actual good stuff here. Okay, so the first thing I see here is Big Mouth's bait. It's a frog. It's called the Gray Frog. It's 3.5 inches long and 0.7 ounces. It's got a 3/0 double weedless custom weedless double hook. I can't read today apparently. This is actually a very soft frog. Extremely soft, so as soon as those fish would bite it, they would be hooked on it. But it's still snag proof. I would probably bend those hooks up just a touch unless I'm fishing into mat or some really heavy nasty stuff. Interesting tails. I normally like just a regular tail, but that would certainly create quite a bit of action behind the frog, and it is a popping frog, which would create quite a bit more disturbance. It's got a white belly and a chartreuse sides with a red or pink line going down the center, and it's got a pretty good amount of weight in it, which is something that a lot of the smaller frogs don't have. And it makes them really hard to walk and use if you're not used to a frog. I'm actually pretty impressed by that. I've known Big Mouth baits from Lucky, but I've never really seen or heard of their products in most of the stores. Let's go to the other frog that they have in here. It's another popping frog. It is the same size. This is called the grass frog. It's got a touch of chartreuse in the tails there. It's a white belly. It's also a popping frog, if I didn't say that. Just as soft. It's got chartreuse on the sides. And it's almost 3/4 of an ounce also, which it's hard to find a decent amount of weight in a small frog like this. That's awesome. So let's go on to this right here. This is the Senshi 5. Let's see what it's called. It's shadow colored. I don't think Yawara. I don't speak Japanese, to be honest with you. But let's get this thing out of here. It's actually extremely small walking bait. It's a black bait, and there's 3 colors that I really throw for topwater. It is white, black, and chartreuse. If there's any type of stain in the water, with frogs at least, I'm going to be throwing a chartreuse bottom frog, or at least a chartreuse side frog like this. But I do like a little bit of chartreuse so that they can find it and they can target in on something. This walking bait actually has a little bit of a cupped face. I don't know if y'all can see that very well, but it has a little bit of a cupped face. The hardware doesn't look bad. Really sharp, sticky hooks, decent split rings, and I'm pretty excited to get out here and throw this. I normally don't throw this small of a walking bait, but it's kind of interesting because I feel like you could get this up into a little bit tighter spots rather than your big old spooks or something like that. This does have a rattle in it, quite a bit, so it'll call fish from a decent ways. The next thing is, I've noticed that Lucky with the Tournament Series box, they tend to give you two of almost all the baits, but they're opposing colors. Like that one was black, and this is a silver with a chartreuse top and a red belly. Just like the frogs, they're two different colors, so if you don't specifically throw black topwater baits, because I know some guys that don't throw them, you have an option with the other one. It's got a cup face on this one also. This one rattles also, same hardware, same everything, just a little bit shinier presentation. It's more of a foil color rather than just a regular painted sheen. Alrighty then, we also have another Skinny Bear Junior Deep. I don't know if they have a bunch of these in the warehouse, but I've gotten one of these in almost every box. It doesn't even say it on the card, but I'm not gonna say no to a free lure. And I might actually throw this, with it being summertime. They are moved out deep and they're moved up shallow. That's really the two places that they go. So you got both ends of the spectrum here with this. Let's see if there's a color. Chartreuse hologram shad. I have reviewed these lures before in previous Lucky Tackle boxes, as I mentioned. Let's see if we can. I actually really do like that color. It's real bright, but yet subtle, and it mimics a bait fish down real deep. And the two colors that I do throw down deep is very bright chartreuse with blue back, or the 6XDs, it's the powder blue. And then I also throw a gizzard shad or a sexy shad or chartreuse sexy shad. Those two are very, very similar. There's not a real big difference between the two. Some people swear by one. I haven't. If they're biting one, I've lost a lure, and that was my last sexy shad, and I threw the chartreuse on, and they were biting it just as well. So let's move on to the next thing. Let's go to these guys. Whale Tail Plastics. This is a cinnamon color, and to me, a lot of these, holy crap, that's super, super soft. But yet, what looks to be pretty durable. They do have a slit in the bottom there, so you can throw it weedless. This would be good as almost a wake bait, a soft wake bait, something you would swim right along the top of the water column early in the morning. This would be something really good to follow up if something smashed a frog and they couldn't quite get it. So you'd throw this in there, or a wacky rig, or a fluke. Those are some good options to throw behind that. But you have these, which they do have wide gap hooks in here for them. The eyes seem kind of cheap, but they're super soft. Something a fish would hold on to for a long time. Not a bad bait in my opinion. And then we also have another Whale Tails product, and this one is purple back with purple flake with a white bottom. It's got a little bit of purple flake in there. Hold on. I'm not sure if y'all can see that. This one is also split in the bottom so that you can run it weedless, just like that. also very soft. Same thing as the other one, just a little bit different color. All right, let's move on to the next thing in here. As I said, we have the 4/0 wide gap mustad hooks. I don't think I really need to talk about these. I'm pretty sure you guys know what these wide gaps hooks are, and they would go great in these as long as they were big enough, which it seems like they're almost perfect size for these paddle tail swim baits. The next thing we have in here is, let's go to this one. It's a cold-blooded baits with VMC hooks on there, so I know those are quality hooks. It is a popper. Don't know if they have a color on here. It does not look like they have an actual color, or it's got a holographic yellow in it with a little bit of red on the top and on the bottom. It is a small popper. It has a couple rattles in it, and it looks like it has some really good split rings on there, good hardware, something very shiny that will certainly pop on top of the water. Get that? I slid that one in there, didn't I? We got two of those actually that are the same color, another one of those. The next thing we got in here is the Gambler Go Fish cane toad. This would be something that you could rig up on your 4/0 mustad hooks also, and it would be weedless, and you could swim these through. Oh, I can smell that salt from here. That is a lot of salt and garlic. That's something to talk about right there. That's a lot. They have some thick paddles on the back. They're ribbed on the top. They're pretty dense, but they look pretty durable. Really good option for swimming through lily pads or heavy cover, so that you could throw that weedless in there, and it has a pretty good weight to it, so you won't be throwing it 5 feet from the boat or the bank. We have another one, the cane toad here. What's the color on this one? I'm sorry about that. There is no color on this one. Okay. We have another Gambler Go Fish cane toad. This one is actually black. This is more of a green pumpkin with some red, black, and gold flake in it. And this is just a straight black cane toad by Gambler. Same exact bait. Certainly has that strong smell with it also. So let's keep moving. We got 3 things left. We got the Mustad Feather Treble Hook. This is something that a lot of people have very big opinions on. And really the only time that I would throw this on something is if the fish are having a hard time locating the bait. If they're missing it, not just short striking, because normally you'll put these on the tail of a bait, and it would give them something more to target when they eat the fish or eat the lure. This is something that is really good when they're short striking it, or it's really muddy waters, help them find that bait. Those are really good, and I do like Mustad stuff quite a bit. The next thing we have in here is the Grip Pin Jig Head Mushroom 90-degree eyelet. It has the Mustad keeper on there, like a lot of the Mustad flipping hooks do. Let's see if you guys can see that right there. It's got the little bit of the keeper on here. You could either throw that, the biggest thing that I could see you could throw that on is this right here, the paddle tail, to get it down just a touch deeper than swimming right across the top. I don't know how buoyant those are, but if they are buoyant, they will. It's super hard to get them any deeper than about a foot. The last thing we have in this month's Lucky Tackle box is 30-pound test braid by Lucky Tackle Box. It says it's tournament grade braid, extreme strength to diameter ratio, ultra smooth casting, and superior quality. It is a 0.25 millimeter and it is 30 pounds. It says it's 8-pound diameter, which I never really trust that because the markets come, ooh, it's even a high vis braid. I didn't realize that that was a high vis braid. I really like using high visibility braid on my spinning reels when I'm using either a weightless rig or a Ned rig or a drop shot. Something really finessey, because a lot of times you can't keep that line super tight because then you'll be moving the bait. So I use a high visibility line tied off onto a leader, normally a fluorocarbon leader, so that you can wash your line much easier and you can actually see that bite before you feel it. So that's why I like high vis, and I'll certainly be spooling this up on one of my spinning reels and then tying a leader to it. I want to say thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you guys liked the video, and if you did, if you liked any of this, be sure to subscribe down below. It helps me tremendously. Make sure you give us a thumbs up if you like the content. If you want a sneak peek into everything that's going on, Instagram already knows about what's going on with Haulin Bass TV way before YouTube does. So make sure you go over there, give us a follow. Make sure you go follow Lucky Tackle Box. And if you like this box, go over there and at least pick up one of their boxes. Get 1 month subscription, 3, 6, or 12-month subscription. I know Father's Day just passed, but it is a great gift to give Dad or any one of your friends that you're looking to get something for that are fishermen. Thank you guys again for watching. Y'all have a good day. Go catch a big one for me.